To understand the concept of death is very mysterious and complex. Moreover, it is more difficult to understand death within the span of life. If one can experience death in life, then he will not have any fear of death. Then only he can live in death as he lives in life. For him, death and life both are the same. Experiencing death in life is the death of Maya, the illusion. He can raise himself above Maya if he feels or realizes or experiences death in life. Then only the mystery of life and death will be clear to him while living. Feeling or realizing or experiencing death is nothing but the end of the cause of the cycles of his ego and sankalp. It means all his ego and sankalp will disappear and he will start living just for the sake of living, as if he is mentally dead but physically alive. His experience of life and death are simultaneous. He lives without any desires, and so leaving the physical body or form is just a play for him, since he lives without any attachment of any kind. Basically, he is very close to death being alive. Neither gimmicks of life attract him, and nor does death create any fear in his mind. For him there is no duality of life and death. He is very friendly and close to both. He loves death as he loves life. Death for him is just coming out from the closed room to the open sky. Such a person is the realized soul, and he is the man of real knowledge and wisdom. He has full control on his breath. He forgets death 21,687 times per day, the number of times he breathes. By suspending his breath, he can be with death or spirit. He has full command to be with life or to be with death as per his wishes. Desires come from the depth of the heart from Jeevatma, and are instruments to force an individual to live to fulfill them. He fulfills them through planning in his mind and by execution through his ego. Food is the cause of extension of life, and it causes breath to digest the food. Food gives energy to live, but it is an illusion to think that one lives by food only. One can live on water and gradually can switch on living entirely by the energy of the breath. Air, we breathe, has all the elements that can keep our body fit and healthy, since through air our physical system extracts pranic energy that gives basic support to live. Jiva needs more number of breaths to digest the solid food, and thus it is more under the influence of Maya. By minimizing the quantity of solid food, one can gradually conquer Maya. He can then live more with the spirit, and get closely associated with death. Food creates more desires, increases ego, and layers of Maya or illusions go on increasing on the Jeevatma. After fulfillment of one desire, another desire is poured in, and thus this unending cycle of desires is continued. Thus, Sanhar Bija, extension of desires continued without any restraint that increases the love or desire to live, but fear of death always scares an individual. However, when the desires are diminished, one can be in a state of silence. Indeed, Death is a state of absolute silence. By diminishing all the desires, and by suspension of breaths as well as awareness, one can get the glimpses of enlightenment by the grace of Almighty. Thus, he can become immortal. Away from the food, breath and consciousness lead a sadhaka to the doorsteps of death being in this life. Becoming pure sattvic, living on just water and finally on air or prana, increases the soul light that helps to merge the soul into the supernal, and this gives the experience of death in life. This discloses the mystery of death in life and life beyond death. Only Jiva passes through the agony of death. Soul is supreme and it is beyond life and death. Realizing the soul light being in this life removes the curtain of death, and thus one becomes liberated from the pains of life and death forever. He becomes the enlightened soul, and this must be the highest aim of one's life.